Okay, it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. My sleep schedule is all over the place, but anyways, that's irrelevant. What's relevant is the fact that I've been in bed all day. And the reason why is because the last 2 days have been kind of rough for me. And yesterday I did a video and I realized that ego was keeping me stuck yet again in terms of a relationship topic, okay? So check that video out. But what I realized is that there was something still unfinished, even though I, let's say, reprogrammed my ego for different thoughts. I realized that there was still something in my relationship patterning that needed to be addressed. So what I did was I started looking at it and focusing on how I felt in the relationship. Okay, so originally I was focusing on what I was projecting, but I realized no, that's not where I needed to start. I needed to start by how I felt in the relationship. So what I recommend you do is grab a pen and paper, okay? For me, pen and paper is distracting. You could use your voice recorder on your phone if that works better. Honestly, normally I try and just keep it all in my head and then remember it after, but that's not working anymore. Apparently, I guess as you get older, your brain cells get a little more fried. So anyways, so write down what and how you felt in your relationship on the top. That's what I did. And then I moved on because I was like, okay, well, I need to look at more different aspects of this. All right. So then I then asked myself, well, why? If you felt all these things above, why did you stay? So that was the second part that I wrote down. Okay. And then the third part, what I did was I realized there was another component, and I was like, okay, well, what was I projecting? Okay, so basically what I found out is that there's a reason why I felt certain things. Like I felt certain things in the relationship, right? And then if you look at it logically, right? If you apply logic, which apparently you can't, when you look at logic, it didn't make sense that even though I felt these emotions or these negative, low vibrational feelings, why I stayed. That's the part that always tripped me up. It was like, why did I stay? Why did I stay? It didn't feel good. Why did I stay? So then I started looking at it. Okay, well, why did I stay? So that was number 2. And then what I realized, though, when I realized and started looking at how I felt and why I stayed, it was all patterning of how I felt as a child in the dynamic with my parents. Okay, there were a lot of things that happened. There was a lot of abuse. There was a lot of broken promises. There was a lot of neglect. There was a lot of things that happened. And then what I was realizing is that when you look at it on the piece of paper, for me personally, I realized, oh my God, well, I realized it before then, but I was like, oh my God, this is totally this is totally my childhood happening over and over again in this relationship. But then what I realized is that I had gone a step further. So I don't believe I did this throughout other relationships, but in my last relationship especially. So maybe it's the fact that as you evolve and you're looking for that certain thing that you haven't found in your relationships, then as you get older, you start to project. Maybe some people project when they're younger. Maybe this was just my first time projecting. I'm not sure. I just know that with my last relationship, I started to project things. And what I realized is that I was like, okay, well, why was I doing that, right? Like, putting this other person on a pedestal. Like, making them kind of like the untouchable, like a god-like creature. And what I realized is I was projecting that and letting other people know about this person, because if this godlike creature had chosen me, then I would then feel special. So if you project, you may or may not project. I think that may be an added thing, because in my other relationships, I never projected. So I haven't researched that fully in my brain yet to figure out why or how we got to that level of projection and why it was done in this relationship versus others. Haven't done that yet. But I'm saying that could be a step 3. That if you are projecting something, write that down too. Because likely what I noticed is it between step 1, step 2, and step 3, the projections of step 3, what I was projecting, was really how I was missing feeling in step 1. So basically in step 1, some of the things you're going to feel, you basically use the polar opposite, because that's obviously what you want to feel, right? So for instance, if you're feeling alone in step 1, you may project in step 3 that you're not alone, that the relationship is great, that this and that and the other thing, that you guys do this together, or whatever it is you project, it'll be the opposite of what you're lacking in step 1. So I hope I haven't lost you. I hope this helps. Grab your pen and paper, check it out. Let me know if you figure it out and if it works the same way for you. But that's what I had to do. And what I uncovered is a belief system, right? That in all of I'm going to just count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Out of the 14 things that I wrote down, okay? Out of the 14 things of how I felt in my last relationship that I wrote down, out of all of those 14 things, I figured out that there was a belief system in place. And that belief system, so say for instance, you know what a belief system is. If you don't, watch my other videos. I'm not going to go all into it here. But I had a belief system in place that I didn't even know I had established. And then I realized that belief system had been carried forth from the other relationships too. So therefore the pattern keeps repeating, right? Until you change your belief. So at any point in time, if you're not getting what you want in life, they say that there's a belief system in place that you consciously or unconsciously, subconsciously, don't know of, that you need to rectify so that you can change things. So basically, long story short, that is what I believe I uncovered today was my underlying deep-rooted belief system that needs to be changed in order for me to achieve different goals in the next relationship. I will not repeat those patterns. Now, side note, you could have many of those. So I've already done healing on other different things, other aspects of relationships, other aspects of me, so that I know and I could tell by the people that I was attracting that my vibrational level was getting higher, because these people were better, but they still weren't where they needed to be. And that's why I did what I did today. So I hope that helps you. Number 1, how did you feel when you were with them? Number 2, why did you stay? And number 3, if you were projecting, what were you projecting? And then what you're going to find, and when you look at all of those things, is that there's probably a belief system that you have in place that originated from your childhood. And once you resolve that, the idea is you will not repeat that same pattern. Have a great day.